their empty song at 11:47 on a Tuesday night. I am the cursor blinking on a spreadsheet that stopped making sense 2 hours ago. I am the sound of my own breathing in a building that has been silent since the cleaning crew left at 9. I am anything, everything, except the woman who has to go home. My eyes burn. I blink, and the numbers swim. Column F refuses to reconcile with column G, but I don't care anymore. I haven't cared since 8:30, when I invented a new task, then another, then another. The audit isn't due until Friday. No one asked me to stay. No one ever does. But the thought of my apartment, the thought of him waiting there, of the questions, of the silence that comes before the anger, makes my hands shake. So I stay. I always stay. The elevator chimes. My spine goes rigid. The cleaning crew is gone. Security makes rounds on the ground floor, never up here on the 15th. Everyone else left hours ago, their desks dark, their computers sleeping. I heard them go, one by one, calling out goodnights I didn't return, because I'd already perfected the art of seeming too focused to hear. Footsteps in the corridor. Measured. Deliberate. Not the hurried clip of someone who forgot something. These steps know exactly where they're going. They stop outside my cubicle. You're still here. Not a question. An observation, delivered in a voice like smoke over gravel, dark and expensive. I know that voice. Everyone in this building knows that voice, though most have never heard it directed at them personally. Konstantin Voronin doesn't speak to junior analysts. He doesn't acknowledge our existence at all, moving through the office like a shadow, flanked by men in tailored suits who never smile. I swivel my chair slowly, trying to compose my face into something professional, something that doesn't betray the fact that my heart is trying to break through my ribs. He stands at the entrance to my cubicle, one hand resting on the gray fabric divider. Tall, impossibly tall, or maybe that's just the way he carries himself, like a man who has never questioned his right to any space he occupies. His suit is charcoal, perfectly cut, the kind that costs more than I make in 3 months. Dark hair, gray at the temples, eyes the color of winter storms. Those eyes are looking at me now, and I suddenly understand what it means to be seen. Mr. Voronin. My voice sounds strange, too bright. I didn't realize anyone else was still here. Neither did I. He doesn't move, doesn't step into my space, but his presence fills it anyway. Until I noticed your desk light from my office, every night this week. Something cold slides down my spine. He's been watching. He's been counting. I've been working on the quarterly reconciliation, I say, gesturing vaguely at my screen. It's easier to focus when it's quiet. It's midnight, Miss Halverson. The way he says my name, careful, precise, like he's tested the shape of it before speaking, makes something in my chest tighten. I didn't think he knew my name. I'm no one. I'm supposed to be invisible. I know what time it is. Architected scene progression and emotional tension escalation strategy. Good start. I've established. Late night. Alone at work. Her exhaustion and dread. She's staying to avoid going home. She's not alone. He's there. He's noticed her pattern. Ended with tension. Now I need to continue building the scene, show his observation, her deflection, and gradually reveal more about both characters. Keep the pacing tight, the emotion real, the danger subtle. Continue with the confrontation, her trying to deflect, him seeing through it. The silence that follows is different from the empty quiet I've been sitting in for hours. This silence has weight. It presses against my skin like a physical thing, demanding answers I can't give. Do you? He asks softly, and there's something in his tone I can't quite identify. Because this is the fifth night you've been here past midnight. The seventh this week you've stayed past 10. My mouth goes dry. I didn't realize you were keeping track. I pay attention to patterns. He shifts slightly, and the movement is so controlled it's almost predatory, especially when they involve my employees destroying themselves for no apparent reason. I'm not destroying myself. I'm working. You're hiding. The word lands like a blow. I stand up too quickly, my chair rolling backward and hitting the cubicle wall with a dull thud. I don't know what you think you. I think. He interrupts. And his voice hasn't risen at all, hasn't changed in volume or tone, but somehow it cuts through my words like a blade. That you're terrified of going home. I think you've been terrified for a while. And I think you believe if you stay here long enough, whatever you're afraid of might simply cease to exist. I can't breathe. I can't think. The fluorescent lights are too bright suddenly, the walls too close. And this man, this dangerous, observant man, is looking at me like he can see straight through to the broken parts I've spent months trying to hide. I need to go, I whisper. Do you? Yes. Then why haven't you moved? Because my legs won't work. Because the thought of walking out of this building, getting into my car, driving to that apartment where Marcus is waiting, where he's always waiting, tracking my location on his phone, timing how long I take, counting the minutes and turning them into accusations, makes my vision blur at the edges. Constantine takes a step into my cubicle. Just one. But it changes everything. He's close enough now that I can smell his cologne, something dark and cedar touched, and see the way his eyes never leave my face. Searching, cataloging, understanding things I haven't said. Who is he? The question is quiet, almost gentle, which somehow makes it worse. I don't. There's no one. Don't. Not harsh. Not angry. But absolute. Don't insult either of us by lying. You're shaking, Miss Halverson. You've been shaking since I said the word home. I wrap my arms around myself, trying to hold the trembling inside, trying to keep everything from spilling out. It's none of your business. Perhaps not. He tilts his head slightly, studying me. But you've made it my concern by turning my office building into your sanctuary every night. So I'll ask again. Who is he? Why do you care? The words come out sharper than I intend, edged with something like desperation. Why would you even notice? I'm nobody. I'm just. I work in reconciliation. I'm a number on a spreadsheet. You shouldn't even know my name. Something flickers across his face. Not anger. Something darker. More complicated. I know everyone's name. I know that you've worked here for 7 months. I know you take your coffee black. You eat lunch at your desk. And you never speak unless spoken to. I know you're brilliant at what you do. Your work is flawless, always ahead of schedule. And I know that 3 weeks ago, something changed. You started staying later, wearing long sleeves even when it's warm, looking over your shoulder in the parking garage. The air leaves my lungs. He's been watching me for weeks. Not just noticing, watching. Paying attention to details no one else would see. Building a picture of me from the fragments I thought I'd hidden. You're scaring me. I breathe. Good. He doesn't move closer, doesn't reach for me, but his presence is overwhelming. You should be scared, but not of me. Never of me. The man who makes you shake like this, who makes you prefer fluorescent lights and stale coffee to your own home, he's the one you should fear. And I suspect you already do. Tears prick at my eyes. I refuse to let them fall. I've cried enough in bathroom stalls and parked cars and the dark of my bedroom when Marcus is finally asleep. I won't cry here. Not in front of this man who sees too much. I can handle it, I say, and my voice doesn't shake. Small victories. Can you? Constantine's expression doesn't change, but something in his eyes sharpens. Or are you simply surviving? Because there's a difference, Miran. My name. He said my first name, and it sounds different in his mouth, weighted with something I don't want to examine. No one here uses my first name. I'm Miss Halverson, or sometimes just Halverson, or most often nothing at all, because I've made myself invisible, unmemorable, safe. I need you to leave me alone, I whisper. Please. He's quiet for a long moment, and I can feel his gaze on me, heavy and assessing. Then he reaches into his jacket pocket and pulls out a card. Not a business card. I can see his business card holder in his other pocket. This is something else. Simple, matte black, with just a phone number embossed in silver. He sets it on my desk, precise and careful, not touching me. When you're ready, he says, or when it becomes unbearable, whichever comes first, call that number. Anytime, day or night. It doesn't matter. I won't. You will. He straightens, adjusting his cuff with movements so controlled they look choreographed. Because men like him always escalate, and women like you, smart, strong, stubborn, always believe you can handle it until suddenly you can't. I'd prefer to help before that moment, not after. You don't know anything about me. I know enough. He turns to leave, then pauses at the cubicle entrance. Go home, Miss Halverson, not because you want to, not because you're ready, but because staying here all night will only make tomorrow harder. He'll notice. He'll ask questions. And you're too tired to lie convincingly. He's right. God help me, he's right. If I don't go home soon, if I stay until dawn like I want to, Marcus will know. He'll see it in my face, in the exhaustion I can't hide, and he'll want to know why. He'll want to know what, or who, could possibly be more important than him. How do you know all this? I ask quietly. Constantine looks back at me, and for just a second, I see something in his eyes that looks almost like recognition, like he's seen this before, like he knows exactly how this story goes. Because I make it my business to know how predators operate, he says, and I'm very, very good at my business. Then he's gone, footsteps receding down the corridor, the elevator chiming his departure. And I'm alone again with the fluorescent lights and the blinking cursor and the black card on my desk that feels like both a promise and a threat. I stare at it for 5 full minutes before I pick it up. The cardstock is thick, expensive. The number is local. No name, no explanation. Just 10 digits that could mean anything or nothing. I slip it into my wallet, beneath my driver's license where Marcus never looks, and I shut down my computer. My hands are still shaking as I gather my things. They're still shaking in the elevator, in the parking garage, in my car as I drive through empty streets toward the apartment that stopped feeling like home months ago. The lights are on when I pull into the lot. Third floor, corner unit. I can see his shadow moving past the window, and my stomach clenches with a familiar dread. He'll be angry. I'm later than usual, later than I've ever been on a weeknight. He'll have questions, and I'll have to answer them carefully, threading the needle between truth and fiction, giving him just enough to satisfy his need for control without revealing anything that might make this worse. I sit in my car for 3 minutes, breathing, preparing, building the armor I need to survive the next hour, the next night, the next morning. This is what I do. This is what I've been doing. This is fine. Except Konstantin Voronin knows my name now. He knows my patterns. He knows I'm afraid. And somehow, that changes everything. The apartment smells like whiskey and stale cigarettes when I open the door. Marcus is on the couch, watching me with eyes that track my every movement. He's 34, handsome in a conventional way, the kind of man mothers approve of at first glance. Clean cut, well dressed, successful. No one ever suspects. No one ever knows. You're late. His voice is calm. That's worse than yelling. The calm means he's been thinking, calculating, building his case. I had work to finish. I set my bag down carefully, precisely, in the spot where it always goes. Routine is safety. Predictability is survival. Until midnight, the quarterly audit is due Friday. He stands, and even though he's not particularly tall, not particularly imposing, I still feel small. Today is Tuesday. Try again. My mind races through possible explanations, discarding each one as too thin, too obvious. I lost track of time. Did you? He crosses the room toward me, not fast, not aggressive, just steady and inevitable. You know what I think? I think you're avoiding me. That's not. I think you'd rather spend time in that soulless office than here with me. I think maybe there's someone there you'd rather see. His hand comes up, fingers brushing my cheek in a gesture that might look tender to anyone watching, but I feel the threat in it, the promise of what that touch could become. Is that it, baby? Someone at work catching your eye? No, of course not. Marcus, I would never. Then why do you keep making me wait? His fingers tighten slightly on my jaw, turning my face toward his. Why do you keep choosing anything else over coming home to me? Because home is where the monster lives. Because home is where I have to watch every word, every movement, every breath. Because home is where I'm slowly disappearing, piece by piece, until I won't recognize myself anymore. But I don't say any of that. I say, I'm sorry. You're right. I should have texted. He studies my face, searching for the lie he knows is there but can't quite identify. Then he releases me, stepping back with a smile that doesn't reach his eyes. Yeah, you should have. Don't let it happen again. I won't. Good girl. He kisses my forehead, and I stand perfectly still, letting him, because resistance costs more than compliance. I made dinner. It's cold now, but you can heat it up. Thank you. I move through the motions, reheating pasta I don't want, sitting at the table across from him, answering questions about my day with carefully edited responses, laughing at his jokes, agreeing with his observations, playing the role of devoted girlfriend so convincingly I almost forget it's a performance. But in my wallet, beneath my license, a black card presses against my leg like a secret. And somewhere across the city, in an office that stays lit long after everyone has gone home, a man who sees too much is probably still awake, probably still watching, probably already planning something I can't begin to imagine. I should be terrified of that. The strange thing is, I'm not. The next morning, I arrive at work 15 minutes early. This is normal. What isn't normal is the way I catch myself looking toward the executive floor, wondering if Constantine is in yet, wondering if he's thinking about last night, wondering if he meant any of what he said. I force myself to focus, head down, work steady, invisible. But at 10:30, my desk phone rings. Internal line. Extension I don't recognize. Miss Halverson. It's not a question, and I know the voice immediately. My office. Now please. The line goes dead before I can respond. My coworkers don't look up as I stand. Why would they? They don't know I exist any more than the furniture does. I've made sure of that. Anonymity is armor. The executive floor is different from the rest of the building. Quieter. The carpet is thicker, absorbing sound. The art on the walls is real, not corporate stock photos. Everything here speaks of power and money and control. Constantine's office is at the end of the hall, double doors of dark wood with his name etched in silver. His assistant, a woman in her 50s with sharp eyes and sharper cheekbones, nods toward the doors without looking away from her computer screen. He's expecting you. I knock. Stupid, probably, when he summoned me, but I can't just walk into his space uninvited. That's not how this works. Come in. The office is exactly what I expected and nothing like I imagined. Massive windows overlooking the city, a desk that could double as a dining table, bookshelves lined with volumes that look read, not decorative, and in the corner, a bar cart with bottles that probably cost more than my rent. Constantine stands by the window, hands in his pockets, looking out at the city spread below him like a kingdom. He doesn't turn when I enter. Close the door. I do. My heart is racing for reasons I can't quite name. You went home last night? Still not looking at me, just stating facts. Yes. How did he react? The question is so direct, so unapologetic that I forget to deflect. He was angry, but he didn't. It was fine. Now Constantine turns, and his expression is unreadable. Define fine. He didn't hurt me. That's not the same thing. I wrap my arms around myself, suddenly cold despite the warm office. Why am I here, Mr. Voronin? Because I made you an offer last night, and I need you to understand I meant it. He crosses to his desk, leaning against it with a casualness that somehow makes him more intimidating, not less. I also need you to understand what I am. You're my boss. No. A slight smile, humorless. I'm your employer. There's a difference. Your boss is Mitchell in accounting. I'm the man who owns this company and several others, and who has resources you can't begin to imagine. Some of those resources are legal, many are not. The air in the room changes, becomes heavier. I should be scared. I should run. But I just stand there, waiting. You've heard the rumors, I'm sure. He continues. About the Voronin family. About what we do when we're not playing at legitimate business. Some of those rumors are exaggerated. Most are understatements. You're telling me you're... I can't say the word. It feels too dramatic, too movie script. I'm telling you that I have certain capabilities most employers don't, and that if you need help, real help, the kind that solves problems permanently, I can provide it. My throat is dry. I don't understand why you're offering this. You don't know me. I know enough. He tilts his head, studying me with that unsettling intensity. I know you're trapped. I know you're smart enough to recognize when a situation is deteriorating. And I know that men like your Marcus rarely stop on their own. They escalate. They possess. They destroy. It's what they do. How do you know his name? I breathe. I know everything about him. Constantine's voice is matter of fact, but there's something underneath it. Something dark and cold. Marcus Chen, 34. Works in pharmaceutical sales. No criminal record, but two ex-girlfriends with restraining orders that mysteriously disappeared from the system. Financially stable on paper, but with gambling debts that suggest otherwise. He moved in with you 4 months ago, and the first police call from your address happened 6 weeks later. You didn't press charges. I'm going to be sick. He knows everything. He's investigated Marcus, investigated me, dug into our lives like we're subjects in some kind of study. That's... You can't just... I can. No apology in his tone. And I did. Because I needed to know what we're dealing with. And now I do. This is insane. This is... I should report you. I should... You should call the number on the card I gave you the next time he hurts you. Or the next time you think he might. Or the next time you're sitting at your desk at midnight because you're too terrified to go home. Constantine pushes off the desk, moving closer but stopping well outside my personal space. That's what you should do, Myron. Everything else is just noise. I never said he hurts me. You didn't have to. We stand there in silence, and I can feel the weight of his certainty pressing against my carefully constructed denials. He's right. Of course he's right. But admitting it feels like opening a door I'll never be able to close. I need to get back to work, I whisper. In a moment. He returns to his desk, pulling open a drawer and retrieving a key card. This is for the parking garage, executive level. Your car will be safer there. Harder to access. Harder to tamper with. Why would someone tamper with my car? Because men like Marcus think about control in expanding circles. Right now, it's your time, your attention, your choices. Soon, it will be your transportation, your communication, your connection to the outside world. I'd prefer to stay ahead of that curve. He's thought of everything, considered angles I haven't even imagined, and the terrifying part is that it all makes sense. I take the key card because refusing feels more dangerous than accepting. I don't understand why you're doing this. Because I can. He meets my eyes, and there's something in his gaze I can't quite read. And because no one else will. It's not a comforting answer. It's not even a good answer. But it's honest. And somehow, that matters. I should go. Yes. He opens the door for me, a strangely old-fashioned gesture from a man who has just admitted to being a criminal. Remember, Myron, any time, day or night. Don't wait until it's too late. I leave his office with my hands shaking and my mind spinning, and the key card feeling like a bomb in my pocket. His assistant doesn't look up as I pass. The elevator ride back to my floor feels endless. When I reach my desk, there's a coffee waiting. Black, no sugar. Exactly how I take it. And attached to the cup is a note in handwriting that's somehow both elegant and aggressive. Eat lunch. You're no good to anyone if you collapse. K. I look up toward the executive floor, but the ceiling is just ceiling. He's not there. He's not watching. Except he is. Somehow. In ways I can't see or predict. I drink the coffee. I eat the lunch I brought. And I try very hard not to think about the fact that for the first time in months, I feel like someone is on my side. Even if that someone is the most dangerous man I've ever met. The week continues in a strange new rhythm. I arrive at work early. I leave at reasonable hours. 7, 8, never midnight. Constantine doesn't summon me again, doesn't speak to me in the corridors, doesn't acknowledge my existence in any public way. But there are signs, small things. A sandwich appearing on my desk at lunch when I forget to eat. My computer upgraded to a newer model overnight. The broken lock on my desk drawer mysteriously repaired. And always, I can feel him watching. Not in a creepy way, in a careful way. Like he's keeping track. Making sure I'm okay. Ready to intervene if I'm not. Marcus notices the changes immediately. You're different, he says Thursday night, watching me cook dinner with eyes that don't blink enough. Happier? Why are you happier? I'm not happier, I'm just. Work has been less stressful. Bullshit. He's on his third drink, which means the calm won't last much longer. You hated that job. You used to come home exhausted, miserable. Now you're practically fucking glowing. So I'll ask again. What changed? I focus on chopping vegetables, keeping my movements steady. Nothing changed. Maybe I'm just adjusting. To what? To us. To this. He's quiet for a moment and I risk a glance. He's staring at me with an expression I can't quite read. Suspicious. Calculating. Show me your phone. My hand still's on the knife. What? Your phone. Let me see it. Marcus, that's. Now. I pull my phone from my pocket and hand it over, hating the way my fingers tremble, hating that I've given him this power. He scrolls. Through my messages, my call history, my emails. He won't find anything. I've been careful. The black card in my wallet is the only evidence, and he doesn't know about that. But he's looking for something. Some proof that his paranoia is justified. Who's Konstantin Voronin? He asks, and my heart stops. What? There's an email from him. Something about a benefits package update. Who is he? He owns the company. I keep my voice steady, even though my pulse is racing. He sends company-wide emails sometimes. Just emails? Yes. You ever talk to him in person? Once. He called a meeting about quarterly targets. The lie comes easily. Too easily. I barely said 2 words. Marcus studies me for a long moment, then sets my phone down on the counter. Fine. But I'm watching you, Myron. I see the way you've been acting. Something's different. And if I find out you're lying to me, if I find out there's someone else, I swear to God, there's no one else. I meet his eyes, willing him to believe me. There's only you. He wants to believe it. I can see the need in his face, the desperate desire to trust me. But the doubt is there too, poisoning everything. Keep it that way, he says finally. Then he kisses me, hard and possessive, and I stand there and let him, because the alternative is worse. That night, after he's asleep, I lock myself in the bathroom and stare at my reflection in the mirror. There are no bruises, no visible marks. But I can see the damage anyway, written in the shadows under my eyes, in the tightness of my jaw, in the way I hold myself like I'm expecting a blow. I pull out the black card and stare at the number for a long time. I don't call. Not yet. But I think about it. God help me. I think about it. Friday morning, I'm at my desk by 7:30, working through the final reconciliation reports. The office is quiet, just a few early risers scattered across the floor. I'm so focused on the numbers that I don't notice him until he speaks. Working hard or hardly working? I jump, spinning in my chair. Constantine stands at my cubicle entrance holding 2 coffee cups. He's in a navy suit today, crisp white shirt, no tie. He looks like he just stepped out of a magazine spread for powerful men who could ruin your life with a phone call. Sorry, he says, though he doesn't sound particularly sorry. Didn't mean to startle you. I didn't think you'd be in this early. I'm always here early. He extends one of the cups toward me. Peace offering. I take it automatically, and the warmth seeps into my palms. For what? For being intrusive. For overstepping. For making you uncomfortable. He leans against the cubicle wall, casual and controlled. I've been told I have a tendency to steamroll people. It's not intentional, but it happens. You had me investigated, I point out quietly. I did. That's more than steamrolling. Yes. He doesn't deny it, doesn't apologize, just acknowledges the truth. But I don't regret it, and I won't pretend I do. I should be angry. I should tell him to leave me alone, to stop interfering, to let me handle my own life. But all I can think about is Marcus scrolling through my phone last night, the way his eyes narrowed when he saw Constantine's name, the threat implicit in every word. He's getting worse, I hear myself say. More paranoid. He wanted to see my phone last night. Constantine's expression doesn't change, but something shifts in his eyes. Something cold and dangerous. Did he hurt you? No. But he wanted to. I could see it. Then it's time. Time for what? To leave. He says it like it's simple. Like it's just a matter of walking out the door and never looking back. Pack a bag. I'll have someone pick you up from work today. You'll stay in one of my properties until we can make more permanent arrangements. I can't just. That's insane. You're talking about upending my entire life. Your life is already upended. His voice is gentle but absolute. The only question is whether you're going to take control of it or let him destroy what's left. I want to argue. I want to tell him he doesn't understand, that it's not that simple, that leaving is more dangerous than staying. But the words won't come because somewhere deep down I know he's right. I'm scared. I whisper. Good. Fear keeps you alert. He straightens, adjusting his cuffs. But don't let it paralyze you. You're stronger than you think, Myron. You've survived this long. Now it's time to do more than survive. What if he comes after me? Then I'll handle it. How? In ways you don't need to know about. He meets my eyes, and there's no warmth there, just cold certainty. I protect what's mine, and as of 3 days ago, when you accepted that coffee I left on your desk, when you took the key card, when you let me into your life even a fraction, you became mine to protect. The possessiveness in his words should frighten me, should send every warning bell in my head screaming. But instead, I feel something else, something that might be relief. I need time, I say, to think, to plan. You have until Sunday. Not a suggestion, a deadline. After that, I'm taking the decision out of your hands. You can't do that. I can. And I will. He pushes off from the wall, preparing to leave. Because I've seen how this story ends when no one intervenes, and I won't watch you become another statistic. He walks away before I can respond, leaving me with cold coffee and warm assurances, and the terrifying knowledge that I'm no longer navigating this alone, whether I want to be or not. The weekend stretches before me like a minefield. Marcus is in a good mood Saturday morning, which somehow makes everything worse. He makes breakfast, talks about his plans for us, touches me with hands that are gentle now but could so easily turn violent. I smile. I nod. I play along. But in my mind, I'm calculating. Sunday. Constantine gave me until Sunday. Less than 2 days to make a decision that will change everything. Sunday morning, Marcus leaves early for a golf game with clients. He'll be gone for hours. This is my chance. My window. I pull a duffel bag from the closet and stare at it for 10 full minutes, unable to move. Once I start packing, there's no going back. Once I admit I'm leaving, I have to follow through. My phone buzzes. Unknown number. Car will be outside at noon. Bring only what matters. Everything else can be replaced. K. He's made the decision for me, taken the choice away. I should be furious, but instead I feel something that might be gratitude. I pack quickly. Clothes, documents, laptop, photos of my parents. The few things that are actually mine, not ours, not his. Everything fits into one bag. My entire life, condensed into 40 pounds of fabric and memory. At 11:50, I stand in the middle of the apartment and look around. I lived here for 6 months. Shared meals and arguments and mornings and nights. Left pieces of myself scattered across this space. I'm not taking them back. I'm leaving them here, offering them up like a sacrifice, hoping they'll be enough to satisfy whatever hunger lives in Marcus's chest. At 11:55, I walk out the door and don't look back. The car waiting outside is black, sleek, with windows tinted so dark I can't see inside. The driver is a man in his 40s, built like a boxer, with eyes that catalog everything and reveal nothing. Miss Halverson? His voice is rough, accented. Russian, maybe. Yes. I'm Dmitri. I work for Mr. Voronin. He takes my bag with surprising gentleness. Please, get in. The interior smells like leather and something else, something expensive I can't identify. The seats are soft. The world outside feels distant, separated by glass and money and power. We drive in silence through Sunday empty streets. I don't ask where we're going. I don't want to know. Not yet. For now, I just want to exist in this strange liminal space between one life and the next. The building we stop at is in the financial district, all glass and steel and modern architecture. Dimitri leads me through a lobby that's more art gallery than apartment building, into an elevator that requires a key card to operate. We rise. 30 floors, 40, 50, the penthouse. Of course it's the penthouse. The doors open directly into the apartment, and I step out into a space that can't be real. Floor-to-ceiling windows offering views of the entire city. Furniture that looks like sculpture. Art that belongs in museums. And Constantine, standing by those impossible windows, hands in his pockets, watching me with an expression I can't read. Welcome, he says simply. I stand there with my duffel bag and my fear and my hope, and I don't know what to say. This is too much. I finally manage. This is temporary. He crosses to me, taking the bag from my numb fingers and setting it aside. Until we figure out next steps. We? You think I'm going to throw you to the wolves alone? He almost smiles. I have a reputation to maintain, Myron. Can't have people thinking I don't take care of my investments. I'm not an investment. No. His expression softens, just slightly. You're not. But I needed to make the offer sound practical. I'm not good at the other kind. What other kind? He doesn't answer, just gestures toward the rest of the apartment. 3 bedrooms. Yours is the one on the left. Bathroom is en suite. Kitchen is fully stocked. Security is. Wait. I hold up a hand, stopping him. You're not. You're not staying here? Would you like me to? The question hangs between us, loaded with implications I'm not ready to examine. I don't know, I admit. Then I won't. He pulls out his phone, typing something quickly. But Dimitri will be here, and there are cameras, and security protocols. You're safe here, Myron. Safer than you've been in months. Safe. The word sounds foreign, like something from another language I used to speak but have forgotten. What about Marcus? I ask quietly. When he realizes I'm gone, I'll handle Marcus. How? Do you really want to know? I think about it. About what Constantine is, what he's capable of, what his handling might entail. And I realize I don't want to know. I just want it to be over. No, I whisper. Smart. He checks his watch. I have a meeting in an hour. Dimitri will stay until I return. If you need anything, anything at all, there's a phone in the kitchen. Press 1. It reaches me directly. He's leaving. I just got here, and he's leaving. And the panic must show on my face because he stops, turns back, studies me with those winter storm eyes. You're safe here, he repeats, softer this time. I promise you that. No one can get to you. Not him. Not anyone. Okay. I wrap my arms around myself, trying to hold the trembling inside. Myron. He waits until I meet his gaze. You did the right thing. Leaving. It took courage. It took desperation. Sometimes those are the same thing. He reaches out, and for a moment I think he's going to touch me, but his hand stops just short, hovering in the space between us. Then he drops it. Get some rest. You look exhausted. I am. Then rest. We'll talk later. He leaves, and I'm alone in this impossible apartment with its impossible views and its impossible safety. I stand there for a long time, just breathing, just existing, just letting myself feel the absence of fear. Then I go to my room, not our room, not his room, and I lie down on a bed that smells like clean linen and nothing else, and I sleep for the first time in months without wondering what I'll wake up to. I wake to darkness and the sound of my phone ringing. Marcus. My heart stops. My hand reaches for the phone automatically, muscle memory from months of conditioning. Answer. Always answer. If you don't answer, it's worse. But I'm not there anymore. I'm here. I'm safe. I silence the call. 10 seconds later, it rings again, and again, and again. By the 6th call, I'm shaking so hard I can barely hold the phone. He knows. He's figured it out. He's coming. I stumble out of the bedroom, disoriented by the unfamiliar space, searching for Dimitri, for another person, for anything that proves I'm not alone. He's in the living room, standing by the window like a sentinel. He turns when he hears me, and something in his expression shifts when he sees my face. He's calling, I manage to say. He won't stop. He's going to give me the phone. I hand it over with shaking hands. Dimitri looks at the screen as it lights up again with Marcus's name, Marcus's number, Marcus's rage made digital. Then he turns the phone off and pulls out the SIM card. Problem solved, he says calmly. But he'll come here. He doesn't know you're here. Dimitri pockets the SIM card. And even if he did, he wouldn't make it past the lobby. You don't know him. I know his type. Something cold flickers across Dimitri's face. And trust me, Miss Halverson, he should be more afraid of us than you are of him. The certainty in his voice should comfort me. It doesn't. Because I know Marcus. I know what he's capable of when he feels like he's losing control. And I've just committed the ultimate betrayal. I've left. Mr. Voronin is on his way back, Dimitri adds. He'll be here in 20 minutes. Why? Because I called him. Told him you needed him. I didn't say. You didn't have to. Dimitri's expression softened slightly. I've seen this before. Many times. The fear doesn't go away just because you're somewhere safe. It takes time. And someone who understands. He's right. The fear is still here, crawling under my skin, making my hands shake and my breath come too fast. I'm safe in this fortress apartment with its security and its cameras and its guard. But my mind hasn't caught up to my body. My mind is still in that other apartment, waiting for the door to open, for the questions to start, for the careful control to slip into something worse. I sit on the couch, pulling my knees to my chest, making myself small. A habit. When you're small, you're less of a target. Dimitri turns with a glass of water. Drink, he says. Not a suggestion, a command, but gentle. I drink. The water is cold and real and helps anchor me to this moment, this place, this reality. When the elevator chimes 18 minutes later, I'm still shaking, but at least I'm breathing normally. Constantine emerges looking like he's been in a fight. Tie loose, jacket missing, hair slightly disheveled. His eyes find me immediately, cataloging my state with a quick, thorough glance. Dimitri, he says quietly. Thank you. You can go. Dimitri nods and leaves without a word. The elevator doors close and then it's just us. Constantine crosses the room and sits on the couch across from me, not beside me. Maintaining distance, giving me space. He called, he says. It's not a question. 11 times. My voice sounds hollow. I didn't answer. Good. But he knows. He knows I'm gone and he's going to do nothing. Constantine's voice is calm, absolute. Because I'm going to make sure he understands that touching you again would be the last mistake he ever makes. I look up at that, meeting his eyes. You can't just. I can. I will. He leans forward, elbows on his knees, hands clasped. I told you what I am, Myron. I told you what I'm capable of. Did you think I was exaggerating? No, but. Then trust me when I say Marcus Chen is a problem I know how to solve. Permanently, if necessary. Temporarily, if you'd prefer. But solved. The casual way he discusses violence should terrify me, should send me running. But instead, I feel a sick sort of relief. Because for the first time in months, someone is offering to make this stop. Not to help me cope. Not to teach me to be stronger. But to actually end it. I don't want him dead, I whisper. Then he won't die. But he will disappear from your life. Completely. Irrevocably. No contact. No attempts to find you. No messages or calls or showing up at your work. He will understand that you are untouchable. And he will believe it. How can you guarantee that? Because I'm very good at making people believe things. He tilts his head, studying me. Especially when those things are true. I should ask more questions. Should demand details. logistics, explanations. But I'm so tired, so exhausted from months of vigilance, of fear, of trying to stay 3 steps ahead of a man whose mood shifted like weather. Okay, I say simply. Constantine's expression shifts slightly. Surprise, maybe. Okay? Make him go away. I don't care how. I just, I can't do this anymore. I can't be afraid anymore. You won't have to be. He stands, and for a moment, I think he's going to leave. But instead, he moves to the window, looking out at the city. There's something you should know about why I'm doing this. You said it's because you can. That's part of it, but not all. He's quiet for a long moment, and when he speaks again, his voice is different, rougher. My mother stayed with my father for 15 years. He hit her, controlled her, isolated her from everyone who might have helped, and no one intervened. No one thought it was their business. No one wanted to get involved. My throat tightens. Constantine? She died when I was 17. Officially, it was an accident. She fell down the stairs, broke her neck. He turns, and his eyes are empty. But I knew. I'd always known. And I'd done nothing because I was a coward. Because I was afraid of him, too. You were a child. I was old enough to know better. Old enough to call someone. To tell someone. To do something. His hands curl into fists at his sides. So when I see what I saw in you, that fear, that exhaustion, that desperate need to disappear, I intervene. Always. Because maybe I can't save her, but I can save you. The air between us is heavy with old grief and new purpose. I stand, moving toward him without thinking, drawn by something I don't understand. I'm sorry, I say quietly, about your mother. Don't be sorry. He looks at me, and there's something in his eyes I haven't seen before. Something human beneath the control. Just be safe. That's enough. We stand there by the window, the city spreading out below us like a promise or a threat. And I realize something. This man, this dangerous, powerful, criminal man, is the first person in months who's made me feel like I matter, like my fear is valid, like my safety is worth fighting for. Thank you, I whisper. Don't thank me yet. A ghost of a smile. Wait until the job is done. Will you tell me? When it's finished? Do you want to know? I think about it. About Marcus. About what he deserves. About what justice might look like when it's delivered by a man who operates outside the law. Yes, I say. I want to know. Then I'll tell you. He checks his watch. It's late. You should sleep. Will you stay? Just in the apartment? I don't want to be alone. Something flickers across his face. I'll stay. He takes the guest room. I hear him moving around, the quiet sounds of another person existing in the same space. It should feel intrusive. Instead, it feels safe. I lie in bed and stare at the ceiling and think about all the choices that brought me here, all the moments I could have left, should have left, didn't leave, all the times I told myself it would get better, he would change, I could manage. And I think about Constantine, watching me from his office, noticing patterns, seeing what I'd tried so hard to hide, intervening when no one else would, taking control because I couldn't. I should resent that. The way he's inserted himself into my life, made decisions for me, assumed authority he hasn't earned. But I don't. Because for the first time in longer than I can remember, I feel like I might actually survive this. Monday morning, I wake to the smell of coffee and the sound of quiet conversation. For a disoriented moment, I think I'm back in the apartment with Marcus, that everything was a dream, that I'm still trapped. Then I remember. I left. I'm safe. I'm here. I pull on clothes and venture into the kitchen. Konstantin is there, dressed for work in a charcoal suit, talking quietly with Dmitri. They stop when they see me. Good morning, Konstantin says. Coffee, please. He pours me a cup, black, no sugar, because he remembers, and slides it across the counter. How did you sleep? Better than I have in months. Good. He exchanges a look with Dmitri. We have a situation. My stomach drops. Marcus? He filed a missing persons report last night, claimed you left without explanation, that he's worried about your safety. Konstantin's tone is dry. Very convincing performance. The police are looking for you. Oh God. I set the cup down before I drop it. What do I? Nothing. You do nothing. He pulls out his phone, showing me a message. You're going to text him. Tell him you're safe. Tell him you needed space. Tell him you'll be in touch when you're ready. Short. Simple. Enough to close the missing person's case. Not enough to give him leverage. He'll want to meet. He'll demand to see me. And you'll refuse. Konstantin's eyes are hard. This is non-negotiable, Miran. You send the message. You don't engage beyond that. Understood? I nod, even though my hands are shaking again. He hands me my phone. When did he get my phone? Already open to a new message. I type what he's dictated, my fingers clumsy on the screen. I'm safe. I need space. Please respect that. I'll contact you when I'm ready. Good, Konstantin says when I show him. Now block his number. I hesitate. But if he... Block. His. Number. Not angry, but absolute. I block it. And just like that, Marcus's access to me is severed. It should feel liberating. Instead, it feels terrifying, like I've just made things irrevocably worse. He's going to escalate, I say quietly. Let him. Konstantin takes the phone, does something with it I can't see, then hands it back. I've installed security software. It tracks your location, monitors your calls, alerts me if anything seems wrong. And before you argue about privacy, understand that your safety is more important. I wasn't going to argue. He looks surprised by that. No? No. Because you're right. And because I take a breath. Because I trust you. I don't know why. I probably shouldn't. But I do. Something shifts in his expression. Softens. That trust is not misplaced. I promise you that. What happens now? I ask. Do I just hide here forever? You go to work. You maintain your routine. You live your life. He finishes his coffee, sets the cup in the sink with precise movements. But you're not alone anymore. Dmitri will drive you. Security will be watching. And I'll be available if you need me. This is insane. I breathe. This whole situation, you, me, all of it. Perhaps. A slight smile. But sometimes insanity is the only rational response to an irrational situation. He leaves for work, and I'm left with Dmitri and my coffee, and the strange new reality of my life. I get ready slowly, putting on armor of makeup and professional clothes, preparing to face the office, my co-workers, the questions that might come. But when Dmitri drives me to work in the black car with its tinted windows, when he walks me to the elevator and tells me he'll be waiting when I'm done, I realize I'm not facing this alone. I have backup now. I have Konstantin. The office feels different. The same desks, the same people, the same fluorescent lights. But I'm different, so everything else is too. My coworkers don't notice. They never do. I slide into my cubicle and start working, losing myself in numbers and spreadsheets and the comfortable predictability of financial data. At lunch, my desk phone rings. Extension I recognize now. Yes? I answer. My office. 5 minutes. Konstantin hangs up before I can respond. I take 6 minutes, just to prove I can, just to assert some small measure of control. Hissing to think she knows everything and says nothing, which might be the most valuable skill in this building. Constantine is at his desk when I enter, reading something on his computer. He doesn't look up. Close the door. Lock it. I do, my pulse quickening. Is something wrong? No, but we need to talk. Sit. I sit in the chair across from his desk, and he finally looks at me, studies me, searches my face for something. Marcus showed up at your work this morning, he says. Security turned him away, but he made a scene, demanded to see you, got aggressive when they refused. My blood goes cold. Is he still? He's gone, and he won't be back. Constantine's expression is unreadable. I had a conversation with him, made certain things clear. What kind of conversation? The kind that doesn't leave room for misinterpretation. He leans back in his chair, fingers steepled. He understands now that you're under my protection. He understands what that means. And he understands the consequences of testing it. You threatened him. I made him a promise. There's a difference. His eyes are cold. He's free to live his life, Myron. Just not anywhere near yours. I should feel relieved. I should feel grateful. Instead, I feel something that might be guilt. What if he doesn't listen? What if he? Then I'll keep my promise. Constantine's voice is gentle but absolute. You need to understand something. Men like Marcus, they operate on a simple principle: power. They believe they have it. They believe they can take it. They believe no one will stop them. I disabused him of that notion. How? Do you really want details? I think about it. About what Constantine is capable of. About what Marcus deserves. About what justice looks like when it's delivered by someone who doesn't play by conventional rules. No, I admit. I just want to know it's over. It's over. He stands, moving to the window that overlooks the city. But there's something else we need to discuss. What? Us. The word hangs in the air between us, heavy with implication. I stand slowly, moving to join him at the window, maintaining a careful distance. What about us? I ask quietly. I need you to understand that what I'm doing, protecting you, housing you, involving myself in your life, it's not because I expect anything in return. He's choosing his words carefully, precisely. You're vulnerable right now. I recognize that. I won't take advantage of it. I know. He looks at me, and I can see the surprise in his eyes. Do you? Yes. Because if you wanted to take advantage, you already would have. Instead, you gave me my own room. You maintained distance. You've been respectful in ways Marcus never was. I take a breath. You've made me feel safe. That's not manipulation. That's just kindness. I'm not kind, Myron. You are to me. We stand there in silence, the city spread below us, and I can feel something shifting, something changing. The air between us is charged, electric, dangerous in a completely different way than Marcus's anger ever was. I need you to know, Constantine says slowly, that when you're ready, if you're ever ready, to explore, whatever this is between us, I'll be here. But not before. Not while you're still healing. Not while the power imbalance is this stark. What if I'm never ready? I ask quietly. Then we remain employer and employee. I continue to ensure your safety. And this, whatever this is, remains unspoken. He turns to face me fully, and his eyes are intense. Your comfort is more important than my interest. Always. I should agree, should nod and accept this boundary and be grateful for his restraint. But instead, I hear myself say, what if I don't want to wait? His expression shifts, hardens. You don't know what you want right now. You're confused. Trauma does that. Makes you cling to anyone who offers safety. Don't. I step closer, surprising myself. Don't diminish what I'm feeling. Don't tell me I'm confused or traumatized or not thinking clearly. I know exactly what I'm saying. Do you? His voice is low, dangerous. Do you understand what you're asking for? What I am? What being with me would mean? You're a man who saved me when no one else would. You're powerful and dangerous and criminal, and you've been nothing but respectful. That's what I understand. We're standing too close now. Close enough that I can see the silver threading through his dark hair, the faint lines at the corners of his eyes, the way his jaw tightens when he's fighting for control. Myron, my name is a warning. I'm trying to do the right thing here. Maybe the right thing is letting me make my own choices. Not when those choices might be driven by gratitude instead of genuine feeling. He's right. I know he's right. But I also know that what I'm feeling isn't just gratitude. It's something deeper, more complicated. Something that's been building since he first appeared at my cubicle, since he first saw me, really saw me, when everyone else looked right through. Okay, I say finally, stepping back. Okay, you're right. I need time. I need to figure out who I am without Marcus, without fear. Relief flashes across his face, followed quickly by something that might be regret. Thank you. But Constantine? I wait until he meets my eyes. When I do figure it out, when I am ready, don't assume I'll have changed my mind. I leave his office before he can respond, my heart racing, my skin flushed with adrenaline and something else. Something that feels like possibility. The rest of the day passes in a blur. Work, calls, emails, the comfortable rhythm of office, life. But underneath it all, I can feel the change, the shift, the opening of a door I thought was closed forever. Dmitri drives me back to the penthouse. Constantine isn't there. He has meetings, always meetings, but his presence is everywhere. In the coffee waiting for me, in the dinner already prepared and warming in the oven, in the note on the counter, eat, rest, call if you need anything. K, I eat, I rest. And I think about the man who's inserted himself into my life with all the subtlety of an earthquake and all the care of a surgeon. That night, alone in the massive penthouse with its impossible views, I finally let myself cry. Not for Marcus, not for what I lost, but for what I survived, for the strength it took to walk away, for the terror of those final months, for all the times I thought I wouldn't make it through. And I cry, because for the first time in so long, I actually believe I will. The weeks that follow develop their own rhythm. I work, I sleep, I heal. Constantine maintains his careful distance, professional at the office, absent at the penthouse. But I feel him anyway, in the small things. Fresh flowers that appear every Monday, books I mentioned wanting to read, the security that's always there but never intrusive. Marcus stops trying to contact me. According to Dmitri, he's moved out of the apartment, found somewhere new, moved on. Just like that. I should feel relieved. Instead, I feel angry, because it was that easy for him, because he could just let go and walk away, when for months, he made me believe I was essential, that he couldn't live without me, that leaving would destroy him. It was all lies, all control, all manipulation, but I'm free of it now. A month after I left, Constantine invites me to dinner. Not at the penthouse, a restaurant, public, neutral. Is this a date? I ask when he extends the invitation in his office. It's dinner, he says carefully. Between two people who have become friends. Friends. Unless you'd prefer a different term. I consider it. We're not friends. Friends don't make your pulse race when they enter a room. Friends don't make you think about them constantly, wonder what they're doing, wish they were closer. No, I say. Friends is fine. It's absolutely not fine, but I'm not ready to name what this actually is. The restaurant is elegant, understated. The kind of place where the staff knows Constantine by name and doesn't question when he requests the private room in back. I'm not trying to hide you, he says when he sees my expression. I'm trying to give us privacy. There's a difference. I know. We sit. We order. And for the first time since this all began, we talk. Really talk. Not about Marcus. Not about safety or protection or the logistics of my new life, but about ourselves, our histories, our hopes. I learn that Constantine collects first editions, that he speaks 5 languages, that he hates oysters and loves opera, and once spent 3 months in Tokyo learning sword making techniques from a master craftsman. He learns that I wanted to be a marine biologist, that I'm afraid of heights but love swimming, that I've never been outside the country but dream of seeing the northern lights. We could go, he says casually over dessert, to see the lights. Iceland, Norway, wherever you'd like. That's that's too much. Why? Because you've already done too much. Given too much. I can't. Mirren. He sets down his fork, giving me his full attention. I'm not keeping a ledger. I'm not tracking debts or favors or obligations. I'm offering because I want to. Because the thought of experiencing that with you appeals to me. If it doesn't appeal to you, say so. But don't refuse because you think you owe me something. You don't. I study his face, searching for the manipulation, the hidden agenda, the catch. But there's nothing. Just honest interest. Just genuine care. Okay, I say quietly. Okay. You'll go? Or okay. You understand? Both. His smile is rare enough to be precious. Good. We linger over coffee, neither of us wanting the evening to end. Outside the restaurant, his car is waiting. Dmitri at the wheel, as always. I'll take you home, Constantine says. The penthouse? Unless you'd prefer somewhere else? I almost laugh. The penthouse is the only home I have now. Everything else is just places I used to live. In the car, we sit in comfortable silence. His hand rests on the seat between us, and I find myself staring at it. Strong, scarred, capable of violence and gentleness in equal measure. Before I can talk myself out of it, I reach over and take it. His fingers close around mine immediately, warm and certain. He doesn't say anything, doesn't need to. The gesture says enough. At the penthouse, he walks me to the door like a gentleman from another era. Thank you for dinner, I say. Thank you for the company. Constantine? Yes? I'm ready. He goes very still. Ready for what? To stop pretending this is just friendship. To stop pretending I don't feel what I feel. I meet his eyes, and I'm not afraid. Not of him. Not anymore. I'm ready to see where this goes. For a long moment, he doesn't move, doesn't speak. Then he reaches out, slow enough that I could stop him, and cups my face in his hand. Are you certain? His voice is rough. Because once we cross this line, I won't be able to go back. I won't be able to pretend I don't want you. That I haven't wanted you since the moment I saw you drowning in that cubicle. I'm certain. He kisses me then. Soft. Careful. Like I'm something precious that might break. And I kiss him back, pouring months of fear and hope and gratitude and want into the press of my lips against his. When we break apart, we're both breathing hard. Come inside, I whisper. No. I pull back, hurt. What? Not tonight. He smooths his thumb across my cheekbone, and the tenderness in the gesture makes my chest ache. Tonight was about making intentions clear. Tomorrow, tomorrow we can explore what those intentions mean. But tonight, I want you to be absolutely certain. I want you to wake up tomorrow and still want this. Still want me. I will. Then tomorrow. He kisses my forehead, chaste and sweet. Sleep well, Myron. He leaves me standing in the doorway, aching and wanting and more alive than I've felt in years. And I realize that this careful, controlled, respectful courtship is what love is supposed to feel like. Not possession, not control, not fear disguised as passion. Just this, just him, just us. Tomorrow can't come fast enough. I barely sleep. Every time I close my eyes, I feel his hand on my face, his lips on mine, the promise in his touch. When dawn finally breaks, I'm already awake, already dressed, already waiting. My phone buzzes at 7. A text from Constantine. Good morning. Did you change your mind? I type back immediately. No. Did you? His response is instant. Never. I'll pick you up at 8. Dress casual. Casual. I stare at my closet, wondering what casual means to a man like him. I settle on jeans and a soft sweater. Simple and comfortable. The me I used to be. Before Marcus. Before fear. Before survival became my full-time job. The me I'm becoming again. At 8 exactly, the elevator chimes. But it's not Dmitri who emerges. It's Constantine, in jeans that should be illegal, and a black Henley that shows off the strength in his shoulders. Hi, I say, suddenly shy. Hi. He looks me over, and whatever he sees makes him smile. Perfect. Come on. Where are we going? You'll see. We take the elevator down to the parking garage, but instead of the usual black sedan, he leads me to a different car. Sleek. Silver. Clearly fast. You're driving? I ask. Today requires a personal touch. He opens the passenger door for me, then rounds to the driver's side. We drive out of the city, toward the coast. The landscape changes gradually, buildings giving way to trees, concrete to sand, noise to silence. I don't ask where we're going, I just trust. An hour later, we pull up to a house. Not a mansion, not a penthouse, just a house. Modern, all glass and clean lines, perched on a cliff overlooking the ocean. What is this place? I ask as we get out. Mine, well, one of mine. I come here when I need to think, to breathe, to remember that there's more to life than boardrooms and balance sheets. He takes my hand, and the touch is natural now. Easy. I wanted to share it with you. Inside, the house is all light and space. Windows frame the ocean like living paintings. The furniture is comfortable, lived in. This isn't a showplace. This is a home. It's beautiful. I breathe. I'm glad you think so. He leads me to the kitchen, where coffee is already brewing. I had someone come by earlier. Stock the fridge. Make sure everything was ready. You planned this. I hoped. He pours 2 cups, hands me one. There's a difference. We take our coffee out onto the deck. The ocean stretches before us, endless and powerful and free. I breathe in salt and possibility. I want to show you something, Constantine says. But first, I need to tell you a story. We sit on the deck chairs and he begins. After my mother died, I became someone else. Someone hard. Someone dangerous. I convinced myself that caring was weakness, that attachment was vulnerability, that the only way to survive was to never let anyone close enough to hurt you. He stares out at the ocean, and I can see the weight of years in his profile. I built an empire on that philosophy, made enemies, made money, made a name that people whisper instead of speak, and I was fine with it. More than fine. I thrived. What changed? I ask quietly. You. He looks at me, and his eyes are raw. Watching you disappear into that cubicle every night. Seeing the fear you tried to hide. Recognizing the patterns because I'd seen them before. With her. It cracked something open in me that I'd sealed shut. Made me remember that some things are worth the risk. That some people are worth protecting. That maybe I could use all this power. All this darkness. for something good. Constantine, let me finish. He sets down his coffee, turning to face me fully. I need you to understand what you're getting into, what I am. The Veronin family isn't just wealthy. We're not just connected. We're criminals, Miran. Organized crime in the purest sense. I've done things, terrible things, to maintain our position, to protect our interests, to survive. I know. Do you? Do you understand that being with me means accepting all of that? It means security that comes from blood and violence. It means luxury paid for in ways you don't want to know about. It means danger. Always. Just beneath the surface. I reach over and take his hand, lacing our fingers together. I understand that you're offering me truth, that you're not hiding who you are or what you've done. That's more honesty than Marcus ever gave me. More respect. Miran, I'm not naive, Constantine. I know you're dangerous. I know what you're capable of. But I also know you've never hurt me, never frightened me, never made me feel small or stupid or worthless. You've made me feel seen, safe, valued. That matters more than your tax status. He laughs, surprising both of us. My tax status. You know what I mean? I do. He brings our joined hands to his lips, pressing a kiss to my knuckles. But I need you to be sure, absolutely certain, because once you're mine, and make no mistake, Myron, if we do this, you will be mine. There's no halfway, no casual, no exit strategy. You're asking me to commit. I'm asking you to understand what commitment means in my world. I think about it, about what he's offering, about what it means. Not just a relationship, not just love, but belonging to someone who belongs to a darkness I can only glimpse. What do you need from me? I ask. Honestly, he considers the question, and I can see him choosing honesty over comfort, loyalty, trust, the knowledge that you won't run when things get complicated, and they will get complicated. The understanding that my world is violent and unpredictable, and that you'll be part of that, whether you're active in it or not. And what do I get? Everything. Simple. Absolute. My protection, my resources, my complete and utter devotion, the freedom to be exactly who you are without fear. A life where you never have to make yourself small again. I stand, moving to the railing that overlooks the ocean. He follows, standing close but not touching, giving me space to think. I should be scared, I say quietly. I should run. Any rational person would. Yes. But I'm not scared of you. I'm scared of going back to who I was before. Scared of playing it safe and ending up alone. Scared of choosing security over living. I turn to face him. You make me feel alive, Constantine. For the first time in years, I feel like I actually exist. You've always existed. No, I survived. That's different. I step closer, close enough to feel his warmth. I want more than survival now. I want to actually live. With me? His voice is careful. Knowing what that means? Yes. Mirren. I kiss him. Not soft like last night. Not careful. I kiss him like I mean it. Like I'm choosing him. Like this is a decision I'll never regret. He responds immediately, his hands coming up to frame my face. And the kiss deepens into something that steals my breath and my sense and my last hesitations. When we finally break apart, we're both shaking. Inside, he says, and his voice is rough. Now. I let him lead me into the house, down a hall to a bedroom that's all white and light and ocean view. He pauses at the threshold. Last chance, he says. We can stop here. Go back to the city. Pretend this was just a nice day at the beach. I don't want to pretend. Then don't. He pulls me close and I can feel his heart racing. But understand this, Myron. After today, you're mine. Completely. I won't share you, won't accept half measures, won't let you go easily if you change your mind. Good. I meet his eyes, letting him see everything, because I don't want easy. I want you. What happens next is gentle and fierce and perfect. He treats me like I'm precious and powerful at once, takes his time, asks permission with every touch, makes sure I know I can stop, can change my mind, can take back my yes at any moment. But I don't. I give myself to him fully, holding nothing back, and he accepts that gift with a reverence that makes me understand exactly what devotion means. Afterward, we lie tangled together, my head on his chest, his fingers tracing patterns on my skin. No regrets? He asks quietly. None. Good. He kisses the top of my head. Because you're stuck with me now. Promises, promises. He laughs, and the sound is so rare, so genuine that I treasure it. We stay at the beach house for the weekend. 3 days of existing outside the world, outside expectations, outside everything except each other. We cook together, walk the beach, talk about everything and nothing, make love like we're trying to memorize each other. On Sunday evening, reality intrudes in the form of Konstantin's phone. He answers it in Russian, his voice changing from soft to sharp in seconds. When he hangs up, his expression is serious. What's wrong? I ask. Marcus violated the terms of our agreement. He's been following you, taking pictures, building a file. His jaw tightens. It ends tonight. What are you going to do? Make sure he never bothers you again. He stands, already shifting into someone else, someone harder, the man who built an empire on blood and fear. I need you to stay here. Dmitri is on his way. He'll watch the house. I want to come with you. No. Constantine? No. He cups my face, and his eyes are gentle despite the steel in his voice. This part of my life, this darkness, you don't need to see it. You don't need to carry it. Let me handle this. I want to argue, want to insist that I'm strong enough, that I can handle it. But the truth is, I don't want to see what he becomes when he's doing what he does. I don't want that image replacing the man I've come to love. Okay, I whisper, but come back to me. Always. He kisses me once, hard and possessive. Wait for me. Then he's gone, and I'm alone with the ocean and my thoughts and the knowledge that somewhere in the city, Constantine is handling Marcus in ways I can't imagine and don't want to. Dmitri arrives an hour later. He doesn't speak, just takes up position by the door like a statue made of muscle and vigilance. I try to sleep. Can't. Try to read. Can't focus. Try to convince myself everything will be fine. Fail completely. At 3 in the morning, the door opens. Constantine enters, and my breath catches. He looks the same. No blood, no visible damage. Just tired. Is it done? I ask. It's done. He crosses to me, pulling me into his arms. He won't bother you again. Ever. Did you? He's alive. Scared. Relocated. But alive. He pulls back to look at me. I kept my promise. No killing. Just persuasion. I don't ask for details. Don't want them. I just hold him and let the relief wash over me. It's really over. I breathe. Yes. He kisses my forehead. You're free, Myron. Completely. Free. The word should bring joy. Instead, it brings tears. Months of fear, of terror, of carefully managed survival. And now it's just over. I cry against Constantine's chest and he holds me through it, murmuring reassurances in Russian and English and languages I don't recognize. When the tears finally stop, I feel lighter, emptier, new. What happens now? I ask. Now we live. He smooths my hair back from my face. However you want. Wherever you want. The penthouse. Here. Somewhere else entirely. It's your choice. What do you want? You. Simple, honest, anywhere, everywhere, always. I kiss him, tasting salt and relief and future. Then that's what you'll have. 6 months later, we're in Iceland, watching the northern lights dance across the sky in ribbons of green and violet and impossible beauty. We're staying in a small hotel, nothing fancy, because Constantine insisted I choose, and I chose experience over luxury. He stands behind me, arms wrapped around my waist, chin resting on my shoulder. Thank you, I say quietly. For what? For seeing me, for saving me, for giving me a life worth living. Myron. He turns me to face him, and his eyes are serious. You saved yourself. You made the choice to leave, to trust me, to take the risk. I just provided the means. You provided everything. No. He shakes his head. You provided the courage, the strength, the faith. I just recognized it. We stand there under the impossible sky, two broken people who found each other in darkness and chose light. I love you, I tell him. First time I've said it. I know. A slight smile. I've known for months. Arrogant. Observant. He pulls me closer. And for the record, I love you too. Have since that first night when you tried to pretend you weren't terrified. I was very convincing. You were terrible at it. I laugh, and it feels like freedom. Later, back in our room, tangled together in warmth and contentment, I think about how far I've come. From that woman drowning in fluorescent light and spreadsheets and fear, to this, to him, to happiness that feels earned rather than stolen. Constantine? I whisper into the darkness. Mm? No regrets? None? His arms tighten around me. You're mine, Myron. For as long as you'll have me. Forever then. Forever works. I close my eyes, safe in the arms of the most dangerous man I've ever known, and I sleep without fear for the first time in my life. Tomorrow, we'll fly home. Tomorrow, we'll return to the real world with its complications and dangers and obligations. But tonight, under the northern lights, in the arms of a man who saw me when I was invisible, I'm just a woman who survived and found something better than safety on the other side. I found love, real,